An interesting thing also I learned tonight again is how when we admit our own shortcomings, and when we catch ourselves to our own thoughts, which are our own expectations of somebody else, get in the way of really listening, and the importance of listening, that this is really how we learn, by really listening to the other person, which is actually very rare, because in, well, reality, as it is, our modern reality, we only listen as long as we agree. But how can we learn anything new if that's the case? If we compare what we hear to our own standards, our own philosophy, our own views, how can we understand anybody? How can we learn about anybody? So, yeah, that's again, tonight I saw that again, the importance of that. I was in a room there on Paltalk and people pointed that out about me basically, which they have pointed for a very long time. You might have noticed that I'm a very fast talker. And yeah, also I'm a very fast thinker. So because of that, people assume that I don't listen. So yeah, I continue to learn about that and how to, while I know that I listen, I'm a very quick person, I can listen and speak at the same time almost, while doing several things at the same time. But that's aside the point, which is I need to learn how to listen so other people get the sense that I'm listening. Because if they don't feel that I'm listening, they don't even want to hear me what I have to say. It's kind of like, it's an interesting saying I once heard, that people don't really care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. And if our impressions, which may they be as they may, subjective and many times irrational, our impressions, they create our reality. And so if I, or you, or anybody gets the feeling of the person who is speaking doesn't listen, even though that impression may be wrong, which most of the time impressions are wrong, because they are based just that, impressions. But still, if that impression is that the impression I have, if I feel that the person is not listening, I will not listen to them either. If I feel somebody is talking down to me, even though that might not be the case, or their intent, if that's my impression, that becomes my reality. And so, yeah, the importance of realizing that reality within myself, I've come to find it's very important to realize that. And so that's what I'm suggesting here, about gaining that knowledge of self. True self-development is all about that. Gaining an insight into who you are, your dynamics, your psychology, your mentality, your character, your personality. That's the thing about the mirror. If you look into that mirror, you can see yourself. But as we all are that mirror, many times we don't like what we see because we focus on something that, yeah, is only real to us, based upon I use myself as an example, my impression, my expectations, my judgments. We all make those. But there is such a thing as good judgment and bad judgment. Just to be clear and just to be real.